I wasn't surprised when he won. Everybody else was, but not me. He won at Rouen, so won it at Brussels. The opposition was pretty much the same. But just because Brussels is an international, everybody was surprised that he won. Yes, monsieur? No, I knew he would win. Well, table tennis is like that. It's a game full of surprises. You should never have schmeissed. You should have taken it in hearts. Yep, there. There, now you see? If you'd been playing...
Well, Pierre, what is it?
Yeah?
I wish to speak to Madame Petraud.
Madame the owner?
Is there a second Madame Petraud here?
No.
Very well then.
Madame?
What?
There's a man here to see you.
Very well.
She's coming.
I've been expecting you.
I received your letter.
Come in. Sit down, Pierre. Thank you for coming.
But in spite of the fact that I'm extremely busy at the moment, I felt that this, as a family matter, must put business into second place.
Blood is thicker than water.
Exactly. The fact that too many treat too lightly these days. You must understand that I was amazed by what you wrote. It seems impossible.
It isn't every day one's husband walks back into one's life after 25 years.
Yes. You are sure it's him? This is going to make some things very awkward. Really quite difficult, in fact.
Would you rather he was dead,
No.
as we thought?
No, of course not. Look, I don't wish to argue. My time is far too valuable. I presume you intend I should see him?
Certainly. He's outside.
What, in the bar? What, he didn't greet me?
Oh, we have all changed.
Yes, but...
He's been through a lot, Pierre. You will be careful.
Careful, why? What's wrong?
Well, there's nothing wrong, but... Well, he may not be quite what you expect.
Marie, is Haristead out there in your bar?
Yes.
Very well. I shall go out and greet him.
Pierre! It will be better, it would be less public if I bring him in here.
There is something wrong.
No, it's just it will be better, that's all. There's no need for everyone to know.
Surely they already know your husband has returned.
Theo does, of course, but as for the rest...
I don't understand.
Well, it has all been a great shock. For him, as much as for us.
Look, I am going to recognize it.
Of course you are, of course.
Oh, very well. Please remember, this isn't an easy matter for any of us, so... let's get it over.
Haristead, don't you recognize? This is your brother, Pierre.
If you could give some possible indication as to the obligation to the fourth party in this matter, it would simplify the whole question considerably. With my sincerest good wishes for our continued good friendship, I assure you I am, etc., etc. Well, that's the lot.
There's the dossier for le maître. The papers on Marie Petraud.
Declaration of death by the tribunal, 1954. Details of the grant of provisional possession. Have you or I got the comparative medical report?
I have. They're with the records from East Germany about the POWs.
The deposition from the brother?
No.
Well, get onto it. Madame Petraud promised to let us have it.
There are still 4 days till the hearing.
Well, just the same, get on to her.
Don't forget you're lunching at number 56.
What, today?
Madame and le maître are expecting you.
Forgotten completely?
Again?
Well, look, if my landlord does call up, now you do know what to tell him.
I know.
Just the ceiling of the bedroom and the left wall of the sitting room. And don't forget to tell him that it is covered by the other people's insurance.
I know. You'd better hurry or you'll be late for your meeting.
Oh, and Michel, be an angel. Book me a room in that hotel around the corner from my apartment.
The Alsace.
That's it.
Only sleeping here for one night.
One was enough. The service was horrible. Don't forget the Petraud deposition.
Madame Petraud? This is Ryan Bersac.
Yes. Yes. Is it absolutely necessary? Very well, mademoiselle. I'll see to it. Well, I have to go out.
But, madame...
I know.
As you wish.
Thank you, Pierre. Look after him.
I always knew it was unsafe to have Americans living above you.
I don't think their being American had anything to do with the accident.
But of course it did. Americans are extravagant with everything, even water.
It's a well-known fact that they flood their bathrooms every day.
It wouldn't surprise me.
Myrtle, just because my American neighbors overflow their bath, which did bring down my bedroom ceiling, it seems a little unfair to accuse a nation of some 200 million people of extravagance.
Well, I hope you managed to get some sleep.
Oh, yes, I went to the office.
Why didn't you come here?
Well, it was 2:30 in the morning.
So, we have a spare room at 2:30 as at any other time.
What will you do tonight?
Well, there's a little hotel around the corner from the
You're
apartment.
never going to a hotel.
Well, I can't sleep in
No,
the
no,
apartment.
no, you must come here.
Well, that's very kind of you.
Oh, we have plenty of room.
Yes, but I don't want to put you to a lot of trouble.
It will be no trouble.
Well, I just thought it might be better if I stayed near the apartment.
Why?
Well, because I could get at my things more easily.
You mean you'd rather stay at a hotel than here?
No, I just thought that if I stayed near the apartment...
Dear, if it is more convenient for you to
And why
stay near
is it
his
more
apartment,
convenient?
I don't see why he... Well, he will be near his things. He can see how the work is going.
Are they going to work on his apartment through the night, then? They must be very exceptional work.
Well, it isn't that, but if I stayed near the apartment, I could get at my books if I needed them.
Your legal books.
Well, yes.
Doesn't Henri have the right legal books?
Well, very possibly.
Well, then what is wrong with staying here?
Matilda, if Hugh wants to stay
Oh,
at a
he
hotel...
wants to. You'd rather stay at a hotel than here.
No, I'd be delighted to stay with you.
You will?
Yes, it's very kind of you.
Oh, not at all. You're our son-in-law. It's only right. Of course, I don't want you to feel you have to stay here. It's just that we should like to have you.
Thank you.
I mean, if it's difficult, if you feel you'd be better somewhere else, of course, I shall
should
quite
be-
understand.
I should be very happy to occupy your spare room.
Good.
It is not surprising there are so many female advocates in France. A French woman can make a man agree to anything. Oh. What are you doing here?
Well, this is where they told me to wait.
You should have better than to come to my office.
I had to see you. I've written twice.
I deal with family matters at home.
It was hard for me to get all the way out of Courthouse.
But this is the ministry.
I'm sorry.
Well, now you are here.
The lawyers have been on to me again.
Oh, isn't that business over yet?
They need statements saying it is Haristead.
I believe you've been calling on the relations.
Anyone who might remember him.
You even bothered Aunt Josephine.
She signed a statement. They need one from you.
Well, haven't you given them a statement?
Yes.
Well, surely that's enough to satisfy any judge.
You arranged for the declaration of death.
Yes, but we both did.
Well, that's why they need statements from both of us saying he's alive.
I see.
Well, can I have yours, please?
No.
But you saw him.
Some 3 months ago, you sent me an hysterical letter in which you said Haristead had returned.
Yes.
Naturally, I was extremely surprised. However, I travelled halfway across Paris to see. When I got there, you produced an old tramp.
Haristead?
You claimed was Haristead.
You agreed.
No, I did not.
You agreed it was him.
No. I agreed that the whole matter had to be looked into. I remember saying that if it was Haristead, there would be problems with the law.
You knew it was him.
Marie, I am not unsympathetic to your problems. I know it's been hard for you to accept that Haristead is dead.
He is alive!
Quiet! I must ask you to remember where you are.
You must give me your statement.
not your
You
chapter.
must. This case is to be heard in 4 days.
No.
Why not?
Because he is not Haristead.
Prove to me that he isn't.
You have to prove to me that he is.
But you've seen him.
I saw an old man.
Well, he can't look the same after 25
That
years.
man is 70. Haristead will be only 52.
Well, think of all he's been through. He's been a prisoner of the Germans and then of the Russians. He's had to make his way home on foot over 1,000 miles. Is it any wonder he looks old?
Has he papers saying he's Haristead?
No.
Does he claim to be Haristead?
No.
Then how can you claim that he is?
Because I feel it. Because from the first moment I saw him, I knew. And so did you.
But, nonsense.
Liar!
Look, you may wish to claim a simple-minded, filthy old tramp as your husband, but he is not my brother. Now, if you don't mind, this is a government department. I have work to do.
So it's hopeless.
If you were with the judges, would you find enough there to set aside the earlier decision?
No.
Then you don't expect me to go into the Court of Appeal with this case in 3 days' time?
No. As Pierre Petraud refuses to sign a deposition, we'll have to withdraw.
But I'm not withdrawing.
Well, you refuse to go into court?
No, I said that you wouldn't expect me to. No, my dear Hugh, it is too late to withdraw.
Well, we can give warning.
Yes, but I prefer to present this case.
Maître, at this distance of time, there is no more evidence to be found.
There is the man himself.
He can't or will not talk.
True. But suppose this tramp is Aristide Petraud.
Just because the wife claimed it?
But there are the other relatives.
4 have signed statements that it could be him. Only 1 says positively that it is.
The aunt.
Yes, Madame Josephine Guerrand.
Only the brother is positive that he is not.
But unlike the aunt, he is prepared to testify that this man is not Aristide Petraud.
There are too many unanswered questions in this case. I mean, if this man is a tramp, why does he stay so long at Madame Petraud's estaminet? And why does she claim so definitely that this broken-down old man is her husband?
Well, he stays because she's encouraged him. He's onto a good thing.
Well, no, tramps don't think like that.
And she's lonely. There is a feeling of mutual need between them.
But she's a very striking-looking woman. She could have cured her loneliness long ago. No, this old man is just a liability. But why does she claim him if he's not what she says?
Money?
Have you found any proof of that?
Well, no.
There you are, then.
Oh, mate, we've done everything we can to get concrete proof. Do you really feel there is something that we could profitably follow up?
No. And you are very busy. And so am I. In fact, I'm almost late for my appointment with old Judge Bray. No, tonight, I'll have a search through the Court of Appeal decisions.
You can't claim precedence even if you find one.
Oh, of course not. But recently they've tended to follow their old decisions. It makes things quicker, you know. Now, don't worry, my boy. If you can't find me a better case, I'm sure no one else can.
Oh, Michel, make sure that Lemaitre has all the law reports and please file this.
Madame Petraud is outside.
Here?
She wants to know what hope she has.
Yeah, well, look, tell her the time of the hearing. Tell her that we are doing everything that we can and that Monsieur Berzac does believe in her.
But you do not.
Madame Petraud, we are doing everything in our power to help you.
You're like Pierre, Monsieur Ryan. You will not believe that Haristead has returned after all these years.
Well, only you and his aunt are positive that he has.
I came to you because you are a stranger here. I thought that because you are a stranger, you might understand, you might have some sympathy.
Madame, please.
Madame Petraud, stranger I may be, but I can only work on the evidence before me.
That man is my husband, Haristead Petraud. He's been a stranger in many places. He has come home at last, and everyone wants to make him a stranger here. Even you.
Madame, I'm sorry.
Oh, it's all right, it's not your fault. Make sure that Lemaitre has everything he needs.
Yes.
Michel, let me have that a moment.
If she saw you without, she'd tell me off for neglecting you. You're lucky with her, aren't you, eh? Then you don't have to do a thing for it. Are you really him, eh? Are you?
What's wrong? Well?
Nothing, I was just giving him some wine. Something for you?
No, thanks. Has he been all right?
Oh, yeah. Is everything ready for the, in a couple of days, isn't it?
It was.
Was?
His brother is swearing he's not Haristead.
In court?
Yes. We'll show him he can't stop us.
But can you prove that he is, without the brother, against the brother?
Yes, we'll manage somehow. They must see that you are you. You know, he never was one for noise. Naturally quiet. He never made a fuss even when they took him away. Just told me I wasn't to worry.
Were you married long?
2 years.
The bastards.
He's back now.
It's as well he knew where to come.
Oh, he trained in an office just round the corner.
Oh. What was he training for?
Big business. Well, we put a stop to all that. We were determined to marry. When my mother gave up this place, he made me take it on. We married and we ran it together. We were the youngest licensees in Paris.
Ah, it's lucky that his family let him get up just like that. If that had been me, my father would never have allowed it. He'd have beaten me black and blue. Not that it's the same, because I didn't train.
No, his father was angry too. Cut him off without a sou. There was nothing the old man could do. Haristead was determined. Only his mother understood and forgave him. When she died, he should have had a lot of money. She left him a special legacy for emergencies, she said. And as the elder son, he'd have had the lion's share of the rest. Not that you know about that. You've been taken by them.
Is that why the brother is being difficult?
Dust and ink, that's all he is. You were always worth 10 of him.
The probability of my brother's return after 25 years is an idle fancy, monsieur.
Improbable, I grant you, but not impossible.
The last known record of my brother was that he was transferred with a party of prisoners to a camp near Bernstadt. Now, it's not even known if he ever arrived at that camp.
But it is known that the prisoners in that camp were shipped through southern Poland into Russia.
But this was all gone into with great thoroughness at the time my brother was declared dead.
Yes, but he could have lived through all this.
Yes. But why, Monsieur Ryan? Why? When a man appears without papers and incapable of speech, should I accept him as my brother?
His wife has.
A woman's need.
You believe that?
Come, now let's be naive. It's a well-known fact that at a certain time of their lives, women can form some very peculiar ideas.
Do you mean to imply that your sister-in-law wants this old man as her lover?
Well, who can say? Well, she certainly seems very obsessed with him.
You refuse to accept any of the evidence, even the medical report?
But the similarities can belong to any number of men.
The differences are more interesting in this case. There are 2 on record. This old man had his jaw broken, and during the past 15 years he's undergone a great deal of primitive dental treatment.
How strange that the differences in a man's mouth should be used to prove who he is. One so often hears the reverse. Clearly, Marie has convinced you that her fantasy is fact.
Well, several of your own relations say that this man could be Haristead Petraud.
Could, being the operative word.
Madame Josephine Guérand.
Well, we can discount anything she says.
Well, she says that this man definitely is Haristead Petraud.
Josephine Guérand is a very old lady. Marie is a very lonely one. The kindest thing to suggest is that for both of them it would be very romantic for Haristead to return. Even if he does come in the guise of a broken-down old tramp without papers or voice.
Madame Petraud strikes me as being practical rather than romantic.
I think I may claim to know her better than you.
Of course.
It was with her romanticism that she captured Haristead.
Captured?
Even to an American such as yourself. Haven't you sometimes thought it strange that Haristead, the elder son of a respected government official, a young man with a chance of an excellent job with one of the most eminent firms on the bourse, should marry the daughter of a barmaid in one of the poorer quarters of Paris?
She does own the place.
Yes, but what place? Is it a restaurant? No. Not even a cafe. It's an estaminet.
I see. Well, yes, I understand that your family, and indeed yourself, were upset at your brother's marriage. But is that enough reason to say that he's dead when in fact he's alive?
Alive. Alive and unable to speak. How very convenient.
Perhaps there's some benefit in his remaining dead.
Very clever, monsieur. But has it crossed your legal mind that the only person to benefit from Haristead's reappearance is Marie? The money left to him under our mother's will? And the emotional call upon a family with rather more power and position than her own?
It'll be all right. I'll see to it. I always knew you'd come back.
My dear Michel, it is a positive delight to have you as an assistant. You are so thorough.
Michel, why didn't you tell me there was money involved?
In what?
In the Petraud case.
Well, there isn't.
There is. There's a legacy from the mother.
Oh, it was nothing.
What may be nothing to you, Miss Rothschild, may be a great deal of money to Madame Petraud in a fly-blown bar.
Oh, Hugh, I'm sure there's no need for this. I mean, Michel did her best.
Yes, but I knew
No,
about
it's all right, my dear. We all make mistakes.
But I knew about this legacy.
Oh, you did? Then you should have told Hugh.
It wasn't worth it.
Look, Michel, I'm sorry I flew off the handle, but you will tell me everything about a case and not keep information to yourself just because you happen to think it's unimportant.
Yes, but will
Now,
you
don't
listen?
worry, my dear. We'll forget all about it. Now, is it going to make a lot of difference?
Well, it could if it came out. Fortunately, Pierre Petraud is more struck on the social claim.
Oh, how much is it?
I am not sure. How much does Haristead get, bearing in mind that as the will was not proven until after his disappearance, he's only due to get 15%?
Bearing that fact in mind, as I did when I made my previous calculations, and so foolishly forgot to bring the sum to your notice, 50 francs.
What?
50 francs.
But that's only...
Around $10 American, £4 sterling, or in lira, it's...
all right. I am doubly sorry. But how come it's so little?
It seems Haristead was their mother's favourite, and she left him a separate legacy.
A separate one?
Which was paid to Marie on the old woman's death. The rest was to be divided between the two brothers. Well, there was after her debts were paid virtually none. Because Haristead was already presumed dead, Pierre got the lot.
And now he gets 50 francs?
Yes.
But it seems strange that Pierre should mention it.
No, it was just in passing. Perhaps he just dropped it in to add fuel to his social prejudice against Marie Petraud.
Ah, well, another dead end. Now, don't let's worry any more about this case. I'm sure you've done your best. If the court decision goes against us, it goes against us.
Every human being has a right to an identity.
It's very noble sounding, and rather naive, and I'm afraid very American. You would do well to think more like us. It'd make life a lot easier. Oh, and don't be late. Your Mère Tilde will give me hell.
But don't say another word. If anyone else says that I'm an American, not French, or some other permutation, I'm just likely to strike him down.
I didn't say a word.
Good. I'm a lawyer with a pill of a case, and it's not making sense. But it will. It will.
The dossier's still on your desk.
I don't need it. I'm going to see a lady.
Madame Petraud, and drown your sorrows at the bar.
No, a grander lady than that.
But don't forget dinner at number 56.
You don't have to remind me of every meal.
Mind the table on the right. One more leg off the running horse will force him to lie down. More to the left. Must be in the center. You call this the center?
Yes, madame.
I'm sure it isn't.
Yes,
Doesn't
madame.
feel like it. Have you measured?
Yes, madame.
Very well. You may fetch in this Monsieur Ryan.
Yes, madame.
Poupon.
Madame Guérant?
Naturally. You are not French.
No, I'm not.
Please be seated. Poupon, fetch a chair for Monsieur Ryan.
Yes, madame.
This will do splendidly.
If it is too hard or too soft for you, Poupon will replace.
No, really, it's fine.
You have no need to worry about Poupon. She's as strong as an ox, aren't you, Poupon?
Yes, madame.
Madame Guérant, I came in the hope that you might be able to help me.
Would you like some refreshment?
Thank you.
Poupon.
Yes, madame.
Madame Guérant, there are several questions which I feel you might be able to answer.
Are you a handsome man?
I beg your pardon?
Are you good-looking by standards of today?
I don't know what...
There's no need for false modesty. If you lawyers didn't think yourself better than the next man, you could never charge the fees you do.
Well, I believe I'm not too ugly.
A legal answer. Look round you, monsieur. This room has seen many handsome men. My fifth husband was considered remarkable in his day.
Oh, I'm sure he was.
Unfortunately, I didn't marry him until the bloom had worn off. He had warts.
How unfortunate.
They are not painful. Here is Poupon. I believe in refreshment with business. It's the only thing that makes business palatable. I hope you'll like our wine. Although you're not French, you may be able to appreciate it.
I'm sure I shall.
It comes from a vineyard known to few.
I'm privileged.
You may try it.
It is unusual.
I'm flattered you should say so. Most people tell me it's drinkable, but quite ordinary.
Well, perhaps my not being French makes me more receptive to the wit of the wine and its company.
I like you, Mr. Ryan. You're a good lawyer. You can compound a flattery.
May I now ask my questions?
Of course, they'll be about my relations.
Yes.
It's the only reason anybody comes to see me. Except my oldest friends. And you cannot be called that yet.
It's about your nephews.
My nephews.
Yes, Haristead and Pierre Petraud.
My great-nephews. I'm their grandmother's elder sister.
I find that hard to believe. Forgive me.
A flattering mistake is always welcome, even when you're as old as Poupon.
Yes, madame.
Madame Guérant, you have signed a statement that Haristead Petraud is alive.
So he is. Living in that estaminet beach Chaumont.
Precisely. Now, when they came to see you...
He never came to see me.
You saw him at the estaminet?
No.
And, where did you see him?
I have never seen him.
You have never seen Haristead Petraud?
How could I when I've been blind all my life? Poupon went. Didn't you, Poupon?
Yes, madame.
Madame Guérant, you have signed a sworn statement that Haristead Petraud is alive and at present living with his wife.
So he is. Poupon saw him there.
Yes, but...
Monsieur Ryan, for many more years than you have been alive, Poupon has been my eyes. When Marie Petraud wrote asking if I would swear that Haristead was living at her little bar, I sent Poupon to make sure. You told me he was there.
Yes, madame.
You are certain it is he?
Poupon always tells the truth.
Yes, madame.
How can she be so sure? No one has seen him since 1944.
But we always knew what would happen, Poupon and I.
You knew?
When Haristead was 17, we knew what would become of him.
Yes, but...
He was a dreamer. He never concentrated upon one thing for 2 minutes together. We said then he would become a vagabond, a clochard. And so he has. Poupon saw him as clearly as she sees you. Haristead is now a tramp.
I understand.
Do not patronize me, Monsieur Ryan.
I had no intent.
And don't dissemble. You do not understand, and you did intend to patronize me.
I apologize. But I'm afraid you can't help me.
Are you monogamous?
I'm sorry?
Is there? And has there been only one woman in your life?
Well, I don't see how my life...
Marie Petraud is. Haristead will be the only man in her life if she claims that some successful bridge builder or a decrepit refugee is Haristead returned after 1 year or even 60. She will be right. And anyone who opposes her will be wrong.
Well, it's hardly an argument in law.
Oh, she should never have gone to law.
Yes, but he has been declared dead legally.
That was Pierre. He persuaded her.
And he is certain that this old man is not Haristead Petraud.
Oh, silly little man. What about the others?
Only you and Marie Petraud are certain that this man is Haristead.
Even Catherine? I wouldn't have thought she'd have missed an opportunity to spite Pierre.
Catherine?
Their sister. But I suppose all these years of purity have made an honest woman of her.
No one has mentioned a sister.
It's not surprising. Been a long time.
Well, can I get in touch with her? Get her to come and see the old man?
I think that might be a little difficult.
Why?
She's a Trappist nun. When she was 24, she took a vow of silence.
Where has he got to?
I don't know.
Well, why isn't he back?
I don't know.
How much longer will he be?
I don't know.
Didn't he say anything?
I do not know.
Oh, Henri.
Yes, what is it?
You haven't heard a word I've said.
You came in again asking about Hugh.
But you weren't even listening.
As this is the 4th time within the hour that you've tried to interrupt my work by inquiring as to Hugh's whereabouts, I must confess that I wasn't listening with any particular attention because I still do not know where he is.
He is going to be late.
Well, he must have been held up.
Well, we shall have to start dinner without him.
I'm sure he won't mind.
What does he think this place is? A hotel?
Well, you wanted him to treat it as one.
I did.
Well, he stayed here rather than at a hotel because you insisted.
Well, I mean, we couldn't let our son-in-law sleep out in the open just because some Americans attacked his apartment.
Tilda.
Yes?
You are becoming excited.
I am not becoming excited.
No, but you are. Now, will you please go and see that the dinner is not spoiling? And when it is ready, serve it. I'm sure Hugh will forgive you, and I will be able to get on with my work.
Oh, you lawyers, you're all the same.
Please sit down, monsieur. Your request has been granted.
She will see me.
She will join us presently. She will come behind that screen there and listen to what you have to say.
Thank you sincerely, Sister Benoit.
There's nothing to thank me for. There are some things I think I should say to you before you speak to her.
Of course.
You will address her as Sister Dorian. She gave up the name of Catherine Petraud a long time ago.
Certainly.
I ask you to remember that she has made a vow of silence. It would be unfair of you and improper of me to allow you to encourage her to break it.
Oh, I don't want to do anything to upset her or disturb her, but I hope she can give me an answer. Can she?
She can write. If I may presume to advise you, we know little of the law here. Keep your request simple.
I shall try.
You may speak to her now.
You are Sister Dorian, formerly Catherine Petraud?
Monsieur Ryan, This is Sister Dorian.
I'm sorry. Sister Dorian, thank you for agreeing to let me talk to you. My name is Hugh Ryan, and I'm a lawyer. At present, closely connected with the case of Haristead Petraud. You are aware that he was declared dead many years ago, and a judgment of absence was passed on him. Now, this was done at the request of his wife, Marie, and your younger brother, Pierre Petraud. You also know that there's been no trace of him since 1944. I assume that you are aware of all this. We believe that Haristead Petraud has returned. Please, Sister Dorian, please hear me out. Sister Dorian, forgive me for invading your privacy. But you are the only one who can help me. Some 3 months ago, a man walked into your sister-in-law's estaminet. Now, he cannot talk, but through some instinct, she was certain, is certain, that this man is her husband, your brother, Haristead Petraud. Now, I admit that there is little proof that it is he. But on the other hand, there is nothing which categorically says it is not. But your younger brother, Pierre Petraud, refuses to accept him. Sister Dorian, I've come to ask for your help. Please visit this man and say whether or not he is Haristead Petraud. I don't want you to break any of your vows, but in all charity, see him. And if he is your brother, give him back his identity.
Come, Monsieur Ryan. You will get your answer. It may take time. Here, we believe in thought first.
Thank you.
I know that Hugh has been under a great deal of pressure lately, but I really think to stay out on his first night here is a little inconsiderate.
All this violence, you know. If people go on settling their differences in this sort of way, we lawyers will soon be out of work.
Henri,
I am reading the morning paper, dear.
why is it that you're allowed to make silly remarks, whereas when I try to say anything, I'm told to be quiet while you read your paper?
Because I know that you are going to complain because Hugh did not come back last night. You're going to say that it was very rude and thoughtless of him. You are also going to say that he has changed since the days when he was a student. Am I right?
Yes, perhaps.
Then there was no need for you to tell me how you felt, because I already knew. So it is more useful for me to continue reading this rubbish in the newspaper.
Henri, you are incorrigible.
Oh, good morning.
I thought you said the service was so bad here. You were moving.
What time is it?
5 to 9.
What? You're 10 minutes late.
If I'd known you wanted an alarm call, I wouldn't have gone through the mail. Shouldn't you be in the spare room at number 56? Or rather on your way here, having had a civil breakfast with your father and mother-in-law?
Yes?
Well, I don't want to seem inquisitive, but why?
I prefer your morning coffee.
Night on the town.
No, I was looking for a lady.
Find one?
Yes.
And she made you late?
She took rather a long time to make up her mind.
Perhaps your charm's wearing thin. What time did you get back?
About 3.
3?
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't it have been simpler to stay where you were?
Hardly.
What's wrong, an irate father?
Well, her mother, to say nothing of her sisters, might have objected. And before you say what's on your mind, I've got a job for you. Phone Pierre Petraud at his office, and if you reach him, please put him through to me.
Now?
Now.
He wasn't there. He's already rung his office and told them he won't be in today.
And I hope that means he got my letter.
You wrote to him?
Yes, in my own fair hand. I'll be out all morning. Cancel my meeting at 11.
Oh, not again.
I know it's awkward, but it's your fault.
Mine?
Yes, you should have found out that the Petrauds had a sister.
But I knew. Catherine.
You knew. All right, I'm not going to be angry. Why didn't you tell me?
She's no good to you. She's a nun, a Trappist. You never get special permission for her to talk to the old man. You went there.
Yes.
But one isn't allowed to go charging.
This one is.
Where are you going?
Justement.
Have you no shame?
I have done nothing.
You call this nothing? Have you become so ruthless that other people's lives mean nothing to you?
I know it is Haristead.
It is Haristead. Is that all you can say? Is that your excuse?
I must do right by him.
Him? What about Catherine? Are you doing right by her when you turn her life inside out with your obsession?
I have never believed that Haristead was dead.
You signed all the papers.
You asked me to.
But I didn't force you. I didn't make you. I merely suggested that after the second fruitless search, which had cost you most of your savings, that it was pointless to go on hoping.
He has come back.
That man is not Haristead Petraud.
We will ask Catherine when she comes.
How can you do this?
I knew nothing about it until, like you, I had a letter from Monsieur Ryan.
And who sent Ryan to see her?
It wasn't me.
I don't believe
I don't care whether you believe me or not. She's coming. There's nothing further to say. Take the morning off.
Oh, but Madame, it's almost opening time.
Not today. We'll be late and leave the sign.
Oh, I thought it was tomorrow.
It is, but... Well, there's some people coming here today. It might be awkward.
Oh.
Go and visit your sister. Give her babies, my love.
Good luck, Madame.
Thank you.
Good morning, monsieur. Good morning, Madame.
Monsieur. Catherine will know she will be on our side. You saw her?
Yes, I saw her.
Pierre is here. He has your letter.
Yes, I thought he should know that I was calling on his sister.
Monsieur Ryan, thank you.
There is nothing to thank me for.
Good morning.
Good morning.
You must feel very proud of yourself today.
Why?
You must have worked wonders to persuade my sister to break her vows.
Your sister is not breaking her vows.
Ah, of course. You've reached some very satisfactory solution with her superiors, I've no doubt.
Coffee, Monsieur Ryan?
Thank you.
I hope it's clear to you that whatever the courts decide, I will not recognize that creature as my brother.
I don't think we'll care.
I want nothing to do with him.
You never did before. After we were married, you never came near us.
What is a family in law, Monsieur Ryan?
I beg your pardon?
Is the family just a set of chess pieces to be manipulated by a lot of strangers as it sees fit? Is that a family in law?
You called on the law to declare your brother dead.
And that gives the law the right to meddle for the rest of time?
I asked, Monsieur Ryan.
Marie, if you need the money that would have come to you under...
We need nothing from you but your word that this is Haristead.
That is not...
Catherine will say he is.
Look, I know that they will probably have told you that in law you're only entitled to 15%, but you can have the full amount. But I can afford it. You can have everything she left. It may not be much, but if you're in difficulties...
Be quiet.
But I'm sure I can persuade the other members of the...
Madame Petraud, would you forego all claims on your husband's family?
Of course.
Well, monsieur?
But what are you suggesting? That I can be bought?
No one is being bought. Madame Petraud is only interested in one thing. To give that man back his name.
He is not Haristead Petraud.
You were so positive.
Well, of course I am. Look at his eyes.
Are they different color?
Well, look how sunken line they are.
Well, he was a young man when he went away.
But his hands would never get like that.
Yours would if you spent half your life in a Russian labor camp.
Do you say you are Haristead Petraud? Do you claim it? Well, say something, damn you!
Leave him.
You expect me to believe this is Haristead Petraud?
Yeah. When a man and woman really love each other, they never lose each other. That is how we love. That is how we know.
Where is Catherine? She should be here by now.
You have an answer to that?
Answer? This to be a private little courtroom just for you?
No, but there is greater strength in Madame Petraud's argument then in yours.
Yes, an argument based upon a woman's obsession.
No, on a woman's love.
If a wife can tell, why can't a brother?
Can he?
You think if this were Haristead Petraud, I wouldn't know, I wouldn't feel it? If Haristead were in Paris now, I would know. I wouldn't have to see him, I would know.
How would you know?
But I'd feel it in my blood.
Well, then the same would be true of a sister.
What?
Well, the feeling in the blood. She wouldn't have to see him. She would know if he was in Paris.
They weren't close. They had no feeling for each other.
Oh, I thought the feeling was in the blood.
Catherine is only coming out of spite. She will say that Cabbage is my brother only because I say he isn't.
Are you suggesting that she lied?
Yes.
Do you think that any court will believe that the nun will deliberately lie?
Yes, out of hate. Some families are brought up to love. Ours was taught to hate. Aristide's hatred for Catherine and myself was as great as hers for him and me. And mine for the two of them. Hate bound us together.
The hate was yours, not his. Aristide had lost his hate for you before he disappeared.
He hated me.
He came home every week to try to break your hatred for him.
How would you know about it?
He told me.
How could you hate that man? Could he be your brother? Will you sign the deposition? Then why did you come here this morning?
To watch my sister.
But if you hate her...
Because I hate her. I want to see her make up her mind after these years of pious devotion. Whether to revive the hate or deny its existence. I want to watch the battle in her.
You won't see it.
What?
She's not coming.
But you said in your letter, but...
You both assumed she was coming. I wrote to say that I was going to see her to ask her to come. I did, but she refused. Now I understand why. She has no wish to revive the hate. Will you sign the deposition?
Well, I suppose you realize that with this deposition of Pierre Petraud, you have entirely ruined my case.
Well, you won't have to say a word. Just present the papers and they'll rescind the earlier judgments.
Exactly. And I had prepared the most eloquent and brilliant address. All wasted.
I'm sorry.
That's all right. Well, I will forgive you, but on one condition.
What's that?
That you are not late for dinner. Ah.
Madame Bersac has just been on the phone.
Yes? Does she want me?
No. She rang to say she'd booked you into a hotel.
Oh.
She thought it would be more convenient for you.